DNS stands for Domain Name System. So let's go ahead and let's say we have you right here. You speak English, which I'm guessing you do if you're watching this video. Let's say you have your computer right here and your computer speaks Spanish. Well, now when you try to communicate to your computer, it's not going to understand what you say. So how are we going to make this work? Well, we can go ahead and we can add a translator to this. And this is what DNS is. It's just a translator. Go ahead and say we have a DNS server. And it can translate your English into the computer's Spanish so the computer understands what you're saying. Let's go ahead and I say 1. Computer is reading this. Is like, bro, I don't know what this says. So it's going to ask the DNS server, yo, what does this mean? And DNS is going to say, oh, that means uno. And now that this is in a language the computer understands, it can go ahead and help me out. It can take me to where I need to go. So that's a very simple example of what DNS does. But of course, the computer is not going to be translating back and forth between English and Spanish. Let's go ahead and segue view again. Go ahead and give you some nice hair. And let's say you're in the same situation to where you're wanting to talk to your computer, but your computer doesn't speak Spanish. It speaks in IP addresses. It understands what an IP address is. And what an IP address is, it's just a weird number that can identify any device that can connect to the internet. So computers, printers, cell phones, whatever. That's what an IP address is. It'll look something like this right here. And we're going to have our DNS server again right here. And a good thing about IP addresses is they can not only be used to identify devices on the internet, but also stuff like websites. So let's say you're here and you want to say, hey, I want to go to google.com. And you type that in. Well, the computer doesn't understand google.com. It has no idea what this means. So it's going to go ahead and ask the DNS server, say, hey, yo, what does this mean? And the DNS server is going to respond with the number that corresponds to Google's IP address. Well, what is Google IP's address? We can actually find that out right now. Go ahead and type in CMD, open up the command prompt. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use something called ping. And all ping does is it's testing to see if I can connect to something. So all it's saying is, hey, are you there? And then whatever I'm connecting to is going to say, hey, I'm here, or either we're not going to get anything back because we can't establish a connection. So type in ping and then type in google.com. You see here, okay, pinging google.com, and we've also gotten a reply from Google saying that, yes, we can connect to it. And you notice we have this strange number right here. This is actually the IP address of Google. Go ahead and copy that. We can see right here, this is what's happening. In the command, I said, hey, reach out to Google. The computer understand that, so I went to the DNS server. The DNS server said, oh, google.com, that's actually this number right here. And the computer understands this. It's like, oh, man, I know what this is. And now it can take you to google.com. Well, let's think about this for a second. If Google is equal to this number right here, if I type in the IP address in my internet browser, am I going to be taken to Google? Well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and have this copied right here. We'll go to the internet. We're not at Google right now. This is just some Microsoft. Actually, let's just go to Microsoft.net. We'll be taken to the Microsoft website. So we're clearly not at Google. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just type in this IP address right here. Press enter. And now we're taken to Google. So yes, if you type in this IP address or google.com, you're going to be taken to the same spot. Well, let's look at another example here. Let's say that we have Microsoft.com and we want to see if it's going to work the same way it did for Google. Let's find out. First, we need the IP address of Microsoft. So we'll ping Microsoft.com. Okay, we can see that it's giving us a number right here the same way it did for Google. Let's go ahead and copy that. So we have the IP address of Microsoft. Here. So if we type in this number, we should be taken to Microsoft.com. So let's try that. First of all, let's get away from this. Let's go to Google. We'll type this in and we'll go to Microsoft.com. Psych, No, you won't. It's not going to work. Well, why is that? That's because there's something called a shared server. And this is just one reason. There's multiple reasons it couldn't work, but a very common one is because of something called a shared server. And what a shared server does is it takes one IP address and lets it resolve multiple website names. Okay, what does that even mean? Okay, well, look at this. Well, we have Microsoft.com. We also have Microsoft.net. So if I type in Microsoft.com, it's going to take me to the Microsoft homepage. Okay. And if I just open a new tab, type in Microsoft.net, it's going to take me to the exact same homepage. And that's what we mean. That's what we mean when we say one IP address is going to resolve to multiple names. Let's just say we have a throw in here called, I don't know, Microsoft visit me please. This isn't real, but let's just say this will take you to the same place as Microsoft.com and Microsoft.net. Well, if we type in Microsoft.com, it's only attached to one IP address, so it knows where to take us. But if we type in this address right here, it can take us to 3 different domain names, so it's not sure which one to go to. It's pretty confused. So that may be one reason why we aren't able to access the website through typing in the IP address itself, because there's too many options to choose from. It doesn't know where to take us. There are other reasons, but this is just an introduction to DNS, and that's outside this video. I hope you learned something.